Hello students. Today in this video I will be discuss with you people about salt. Generally if I will discuss with you what is a salt, so I can say that the compound which are formed when an acid react with base to give us salt. When an acid react with base give us salt and water. So we can say that a compound which is formed along with water when an acid react with base is called a salt. That is a general definition. Very simple is there. Suppose acid is there HCl, base is there NaOH, and the salt whatever I am getting, this is NaCl and the water molecule. So that meaning this NaCl is formed when base and acid react with each other. So that is a salt. Now if you chemically I will be discuss with you, then an ionic compound which contain a positive ion. An ionic compound which contain a positive ion, or I can say that is a cation, which contain a positive ion other than hydrogen ion, and negative ion, or I can say that is anion other than hydroxide ion. So this is OH negative, this is a hydroxide ion, is called salt. This is a simple definition. That meaning an ionic compound which contain a positive ion also known as cation, other than hydrogen ion, and negative ion, that is also called anion, other than hydroxide ion, is called salt. The example that I have discussed with you, like I have discussed with you NaCl. This is, here you can see this NaCl, this contain Na positive, Cl negative. This is a positive ion other than hydrogen ion. This is a negative ion other than hydroxide ion. So NaCl is a salt. The second example I will discuss with you. Suppose I am having Na2SO4. This is, so it will be giving us 2Na positive and SO4 2 negative. Here you can check out that this is a sodium ion other than hydrogen ion. This is a sulfate ion other than hydroxide ion. So this is also a salt. So whatever compound which contain a positive ion other than hydrogen ion and a negative ion other than hydroxide ion, that are called salt. So that is the related to salt. What is a salt? Now the point is there, how we can classify the salt, that meaning the classification of salt. How we can classify the salt? This is classification of salt. Classification of salt. This is, now I'm going to talk about classification of salt. Very simple is there. I can classify the salt. First is there, this is normal salt. Second is there, this is acidic salt. Third is there, this is basic salt. After that, fourth is there, this is mixed salt. Then fifth is there, this is double salt. That is a simple classification. Now if I will be talk with you about the normal salt, what is a normal salt, then I can say that a salt which does not contain any ionizable or replaceable hydrogen. That meaning which does not contain any ionizable or replaceable hydrogen. This is replaceable hydrogen. I can say that are called normal salt. Hydrogen atom, that is called normal salt. That meaning a salt which does not contain any replaceable ion or hydrogen atom, that is called normal salt. Again, the example which I will discuss with you, suppose I am having HCl reacted with NaOH, so I am getting here NaCl and H2O. This NaCl is a salt. Now in this salt not a single hydrogen ion is available. All the hydrogen ion are replaced by the positive cation. That meaning not a hydrogen ion is replaceable hydrogen ion is available with that molecule. That meaning this is a normal salt. The other example which I am discussing with you, suppose I am having H2SO4 and this is 2NaOH. Here you can check out कि both the Na replace both the hydrogen, then I am getting Na2SO4 and that 2H2O. Here also you can check out that there is not a single hydrogen atom is available which can be replaced again. So we can say that this is also a normal salt because both the hydrogen which was available in the acid, that is replaced by the cation. Both the cation are replaced both the hydrogen atom. So that means the salt whatever we are getting in that salt, now not a single hydrogen atom or any ionizable ion is available. So we can say that this is a normal salt. After this normal salt, I will be discuss about the other salt. Second is that acidic salt. So that normal salt is clear. Now I am coming on the second salt, that is the acidic salt. Acidic salt meaning the salt which are formed by, that meaning the salt which are formed by partial. I'm talking about the partial meaning some part, partial replacement of hydrogen atom by electropositive, whatever electropositive is available there, or metallic. Electropositive or metallic radical are called acidic salt. Electropositive radical I will be say, or I will be say the metallic radical, the meaning is same, that are called acidic salt. That meaning partial replacement meaning all the hydrogen atom are not replaced, some hydrogen atom should be left it there. Like if I will be discuss with you the example, I am having H2SO4, this is H2SO4 and having NaOH. Now what's happened, this is a electropositive radical because Na positive, OH negative. So this one electropositive radical replaced one hydrogen. Two hydrogen was available in the acid, but this is going to replace only one hydrogen. It will not replace both the hydrogen, only one hydrogen. So this is a partial because one is already available here. So one is replaced, so Na, and one H will be available there, NaHSO4 and H2O. So this is a acidic radical because here partial replacement of hydrogen atom take place, one hydrogen atom is available here. Same if I discuss with the other example, like the same H2SO4 I am having here. KOH, same. K is an electropositive. This will be replaced only one hydrogen atom. So again, two hydrogen atom is available. Only one is replaced. So one is left. So this is a partial replacement of hydrogen atom. So this will be also give us what? KHSO4 plus H2O. So this salt is also a acidic salt. I hope both the salt is clear. Now if you want to note down, you can note down. Then I will go with the next third salt, that is a basic salt. Now the basic salt, whatever I will be discuss with you, I want to discuss. This is also like the acidic salt. Basic when we can say that any substance is basic due to the presence of OH, hydroxide ion. That meaning in basic salt, the salt which are formed by partial replacement of hydroxide ion. Partial replacement of hydroxide ion. That meaning which are formed by the partial replacement of hydroxide ion. Now this replacement should be by electronegative radical, that are called basic salt. The general example I want to discuss with you, suppose I am having CuOH whole twice. It reacted with HCl. Now what's happened here? Two OH are available here and one Cl is there. So this Cl is replaced only one OH. So what it will be giving us? Cu, one OH remain here. This is Cl. Whatever OH is replaced, that react with H to give us H2O. So one OH is already available in this salt. So this is a basic salt. The name of this OH, this is indicate the basic. Cu is copper, Cl is chloride. Basic copper chloride. You can check out. In this formation of this salt, only one OH is replaced by the electronegative radical, because two OH is available, one Cl replace only one OH. So this is a partial replacement. So simply the partial replacement of hydroxide ion. So we can say that this is a basic salt. Now after this basic salt, I will be go to the next salt. This is the mixed salt. The mixed salt that I want to discuss with you. This is now the topic is there, mixed salt. What is a mixed salt? That meaning the salt which contain more than more than one cation or anion. I'm talking more than one cation or anion. That should be other than hydrogen ion or hydride ion. So that cation should not there and that anion should not there. Only except these two. If the salt contain more than one cation or more than one anion, then we can say that this is a mixed salt. If I will discuss with you the example, that is bleaching powder. This is bleaching powder. The formula of the bleaching powder is what? This is CaOCl2. This is, if I will be discuss its structure, so this is CaOCl, this is Cl, this is negatively charged, this is negatively charged. You can see in this salt two anion, one anion is this, one anion is this, two anion are available. So this is a more than one. So we can say that this is a mixed salt. So bleaching powder is example of mixed salt. So after this I will be go with you the other topic. This is a double salt. That is double salt. This is very important. Lots of time in a competition they can ask about the double salt. That means the salt which are formed, salt which are formed, salt which are formed by two simple salt from two simple salt, that keep in the mind that should be the simple salt, and they should be in their equimolar proportion, in their equimolar proportions. Equimolar proportion meaning they should be in equal amount, in equal ratio they should be dissolved proportion. Then they are slowly crystallized out from a mixture of their saturated salt. So that meaning simply we can say that the salt which are formed from two simple salt in their equimolar proportion, that are called double salt. The example if I will be discuss with you, this is a potash alum. Potash alum. In Hindi I can say that this is a Fitkari. This is Fitkari. Now the formula of potash alum is there. This is a K2SO4 dot Al2SO4 whole thrice dot 24H2O. Here you can see this is the one salt, potassium sulfate. Other salt is aluminium sulfate. So both the salt are there. They are in equal proportion. Equal proportion meaning one molecule of this, one molecule of this. So they are present in the equal proportion. Two salt intermix in equal proportion. Then they are giving us the other compound, that is a double salt, and this is a potash alum. The second example is there. This is Morse salt. That is Morse salt. Same, I will discuss with the example of Morse salt. This is a FeSO4 dot NH4 whole twice SO4 dot 6H2O. One salt is this, second salt is this. So that means two salt, same in equal amount they are going to dissolve. One molecule they are intermix, and they are giving us a formula of double salt, that is called Morse salt. So I hope have you understand, all of you have understand about the salt and the classification of salt. Now after this salt topic I will be go with the next topic, some important salt that are in your syllabus. Some important salt. So what are some important salt? Please check out. Some important salt. So the topic is there. Some important salt. In some important salt, whatever in your syllabus, if I will be discuss with you, the first salt is there. The first salt is there, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide, its formula is there NaOH, and its common name is there. Chemical name is sodium hydroxide, formula is NaOH, and common name is there caustic soda. This is caustic soda. This is, again I am writing here, this is the chemical name. This is chemical name. This is formula, and this is common name. This is common name. After this, the second salt is there. This is the common name is, it's washing soda. Washing soda. The formula of washing soda is there Na2CO3.10H2O. and its chemical name is, this is sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate, 10 meaning deca, and if water molecule is available, this is a hydrate. So this is sodium carbonate deca hydrate. Third salt is there, this is baking soda. This is baking soda. The formula is there, NaHCO3. NaHCO3. You can say that its chemical name is there, sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate. Then fourth salt is there in your syllabus. This is, the common name is there, bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Its formula is there, CaOCl2. Chemical name is there, calcium, O meaning oxy, Cl2, this is a chloride. Calcium oxychloride. The fifth salt is there in your syllabus. This is a POP. That meaning this is a plaster of Paris. Short form is there, POP, and full form is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. Formula is there, CaSO4.12H2O. Chemical name is there, calcium sulfate, half meaning hemi. Keep in the mind, half meaning hemi, H2 available, so that means this is hydrate. So calcium sulfate hemi hydrate. So these 5 salt are available in your syllabus. So one by one I will be discuss with you their preparation and their properties. So first of all, note down, or you, if you want to take the screenshot, then you can take the screenshot. Take it. Now one by one I will be discuss with you about the salt. The first is the sodium hydroxide. The first salt is there, sodium hydroxide, which we want to make. First salt is there, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. Again I am mentioning here, the formula is there, NaOH. Common name is there, caustic soda. Caustic soda. Now, how to make the caustic soda? First of all, keep in your mind, we will make the caustic soda with chlor-alkali process. Process name is there, this is chlor-alkali process. Chlor-alkali process. What to do in this process? We will take sodium chloride, or I can say that the brine solution, and I will pass out the electric current on that brine solution. Brine solution, the meaning of brine solution, this is a mixture of sodium chloride and water. This is called brine solution. This is called brine solution. If I will pass out the electric current on the brine solution, then I will be get it the sodium hydroxide. The equation, if I will write it, so this is 2NaCl plus 2H2O. This is 2NaCl plus 2H2O, and I'm going to pass out the electricity. This is electricity. Then I'm getting here 2NaOH, sodium hydroxide, with the evolution of chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. These are a gas, that is the above sided arrow I'm going to indicate it. So keep in your mind that whatever chlorine gas is there, that is at anode, this will be getting at anode, and the hydrogen gas that is at cathode. This is at cathode. This is. Now that is the general equation. That though we have to learn it, but how this reaction is proceed, that I am going to discuss with you. You can show this example in this way also. Or suppose I am having a NaCl, and as I am going to pass out the electric current on this NaCl, so it is going to ionize and give us Na positive and Cl negative. Same, the water molecule is also going to ionize by passing the electric current. It will be giving us H positive and OH negative. This is. Now these chloride ion and hydrogen ion, this negatively charged is each at anode. So Cl ion is reached at anode. It will be lose one electron, because on anode electrons are going to lose one electron and give us chlorine atom. So like this, two chlorine atom combine and give us a gas. This is a Cl2 gas, that is a chlorine gas which is released out from the anode. Now same, the hydrogen ion is reached at cathode. Hydrogen ion will be reached. Whatever electron is lost by the chloride ion, the same electron is gained by the hydrogen ion and converted into hydrogen atom. Two hydrogen atoms combine with each other and give us hydrogen gas, which is liberated from the cathode. And the rest of two things, Na positive and OH negative, they will be interact with each other and they are giving us sodium hydroxide. How the reaction is complete, that I have discussed with you. This is the completed at cathode, and this is the simple in solution reaction is going on. So we are getting here sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas, hydrogen gas. Same I am writing here. For balancing I am using 2,2 molecule here. So this is the preparation of sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, and this process by which we are going to make is known as chlor-alkali process. Now the point is this, why this process is known as chlor-alkali process. Very simply you can check it. Chlor, if I discuss meaning chlor meaning chlorine. So you can see chlorine gas is liberated from here. So this is a chlorine. Alkali meaning water soluble base. Alkali meaning water soluble base. So the water soluble base is here NaOH. So that meaning due to the formation of chlorine and a water soluble base, that is NaOH, the process name is known as chlor-alkali process. Chlor meaning Cl2, that we are getting in this reaction. Alkali meaning water soluble base, that is also I am getting in this reaction. So due to the formation of chlorine and water soluble base, this process name is known as chlor-alkali process. I hope you have understand about its preparation. Now I am going with you about its properties. What is the properties of sodium hydroxide? Properties of sodium hydroxide. Properties of sodium hydroxide. Properties of sodium hydroxide. Properties of sodium hydroxide. Now firstly though, this is a white crystalline solid. The first point is there, it is white crystalline solid. That means it will lying in the form of crystalline, that is white in color. Second is there, it is readily soluble in water. Second is there, it is soluble in water. That is why that is also known as alkali. Keep in your mind, Hydrochloride is also known as alkali. Now next, whenever it react with acid, then it will be give us a salt and water molecule. That meaning reaction with acid. Suppose NaOH is there, it reacted with HCl. This is acid, so it will be giving us from here OH and H react to give us H2O, Na react with Cl to give us NaCl. So this is a salt and water molecule. After that, if it reacted with carbon dioxide gas, then it will be giving us sodium carbonate and release a water molecule. Like fourth, I am discuss reaction with carbon dioxide. All the reaction already we have read out in chemical properties of base, because NaOH is a base, carbon dioxide, this is a non-metallic oxide, sorry, metallic oxide. So whenever NaOH will be react, so it will be giving us NaOH plus CO2. It will be what? It will be giving us sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, and water molecule. For balancing it, I will multiply by 2 Na, 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, 3 or 1, 4 oxygen, and here 2 or 2, 4 oxygen, carbon 1. So this is a balance equation. So that meaning if I want to make it, so in this way I can make. There is a no problem. This is the way of the chemical properties or physical properties of sodium hydroxide. Now I will be discuss with you some uses. What are the uses of sodium hydroxide? Uses of sodium hydroxide. What are the uses that I will discuss with you? Uses of sodium hydroxide. Uses of sodium hydroxide. Now, the first use, it is used in the preparation of soap. It is used in the preparation of soap. Yeah, manufacture of soap. Used in the manufacturing of soap. Second is there, after the manufacturing we can say that it is used in the petroleum refining. Used in the petroleum refining. Third use, if I will discuss with you, it is used in the purification of bauxite. Used in the purification of bauxite. This bauxite, this is the ore of aluminium. This is the ore of aluminium. Then fourth is there, used in a textile industry. Used in the textile industry. Used in the textile industry. Simply, in manufacturing of soap, that meaning with the help of sodium hydroxide we can make the soap. In the preparation of soap we will use the sodium hydroxide. Second is there in the petroleum refining. Refining meaning if I want to purify the petroleum, so I will be use the NaOH there in the refining of petroleum. Third is there by the purification of bauxite. Bauxite, this is the ore of aluminium. Lots of impurities are there in this ore. So if I want to pure it, this ore, then I will be use NaOH. Next is used in the textile industry. So textile industry meaning in a cotton fabric. I will be using textile industry. Second salt is here. This is washing soda. The chemical formula of washing soda is there, Na2CO4. CO3 dot 10 H2O, and its chemical name is there sodium carbonate. This is sodium carbonate, 10 meaning deca. This is deca, H2O meaning this is hydrate. So chemical name is the sodium carbonate decahydrate. So first of all, I will discuss with you the manufacture of washing soda. Ki how to make the washing soda. So I can say that the preparation of washing soda. Preparation of washing soda. Preparation of washing soda. Now, in the preparation, the name of the process, this is Solvay process. Process name is there Solvay process. Solvay process. Now, in the preparation of washing soda, three steps we will use. In the first step, carbon dioxide gas is passed. I am discussing the first step is there. Carbon dioxide gas is passed to the brine solution, ammonical brine solution I can use. Ammonical brine solution, carbon dioxide gas is passed to the ammonical brine solution. Then it will be giving us sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. Sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. This is the PPT. So I will show with the help of downward arrow, and we will separate it. Ammonium chloride will be passed out from there, and sodium bicarbonate we have to separate it. So if I will write its equation, so this is the carbon dioxide gas, ammonical, that meaning ammonia, this is NH3. Brine solution, already I have discussed with you, a solution of NaCl and water. This is a brine solution. Carbon dioxide gas is passed through ammonical brine solution. It will giving a sodium bicarbonate. This is NaHCO3 and NH4Cl. This is sodium bicarbonate. This is a PPT. So we have to separate both the things, and we have to dry the sodium bicarbonate. After drying the sodium bicarbonate, we have to heat it. Firstly, we have to filter it, then we have to dry it, then we have to heat it. So in second step, after filtering or drying, I will be heated the two molecules of sodium bicarbonate during heating. That indicate the triangle sign, that is the meaning of heating, to NaHCO3. So it will be giving us sodium carbonate Na2CO3, release water molecule and carbon dioxide gas. This is a sodium carbonate, or I can say that anhydrous sodium carbonate, because there is a no water molecule. So I can say that anhydrous sodium carbonate, or simply I can say that this is sodium carbonate. As I am getting the sodium carbonate, then it recrystallize with the water molecule to give us washing soda. So that means third step, this sodium carbonate Na2CO3 reacted with 10 molecules of water, and it crystallized. Then it will giving us Na2CO3.10H2O. This is washing soda, and the process name is Solvay process. So again I am discussing the same thing, ki what happened in this. If I want to make the washing soda with the help of Solvay process, then I will pass out the carbon dioxide gas in ammonical brine solution. Then it will be giving a sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. This sodium bicarbonate is there as a PPT, so we have to filter it and dry it. if I will talk about the reaction, so this is CO2 plus ammonical, meaning that is a ammonia, NH3. Brine solution I have discussed with you, the mixture of NaCl and water. So NaCl plus H2O, then it will be giving us sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3 and NH4Cl. Again, sodium bicarbonate, this is a PPT, so we have to filter it and dry it. After filtration and drying, we have to heat the sodium bicarbonate. By heating sodium bicarbonate, it will be giving us the sodium carbonate water molecule and release the carbon dioxide gas. So this sodium carbonate again recrystallize with the water molecule and giving us the washing soda. So this sodium carbonate combined with the 10 molecules of water and giving us a washing soda. This is the preparation of washing soda, or I can say that this is a Solvay process. Now after this I will be discuss with you the properties of washing soda. What are the properties? Properties of washing soda. Properties of washing soda. Properties of washing soda. What are the properties of washing soda? The first property if I will be discuss, so this is a transparent crystalline solid. It is transparent crystalline solid. In they are transparent and in the form of crystal in solid form. Second is there, it is soluble in water. It is soluble in water. Soluble in water. Then third point is there, key action of air. This is the important point here. This is action of air. Action of air. That meaning whenever I will be leave the washing soda crystal in the atmosphere, then from here 9 molecules of water is removed. Suppose I am having a washing soda, this is Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. I am left it in open atmosphere, then the 9 molecules water molecule will be removed from here and it will be giving us Na2CO3 dot H2O, because 9 molecules are removed, only one molecule is left, plus 9H2O. This is sodium carbonate, one meaning mono, H2O meaning hydrate. This is sodium carbonate monohydrate. This is, so this process is also known as efflorescence. That meaning the loss of water of crystallization from a hydrated salt to the atmosphere on keeping it exposed to air is called efflorescence. So that meaning this process is known as efflorescent. This process is known as efflorescent. This is the loss of water molecule. Again I am speaking the definition. The loss of water molecule by leaving the washing soda crystal left exposed in atmosphere is called efflorescent. This is very important. This is the action of air. After this action of air, the next is action of heat. This is also important one, action of heat. Fourth is there, this is action of heat. Action of heat. If I will be discuss action of heat, so by heating washing soda Na2CO3.10H2O, the heating, if the heating is above 373 Kelvin, this is above 373 Kelvin, then all the water molecule is eliminated from here and we are getting here only Na2CO3 and the water molecule is eliminated from here. This is anhydrous sodium carbonate. Anhydrous sodium carbonate, because there is a no water molecule, so I can say that this is anhydrous sodium carbonate. So by heating above 373 Kelvin of washing soda, all the water molecules are eliminated from it and we are getting anhydrous sodium carbonate. So that are the physical properties. After these physical properties, I will be discuss with you the uses. Okay, what are the uses of washing soda? Uses of washing soda. Uses of washing soda. Uses of washing soda. If I will be discuss with you the uses of washing soda, so first use is there, it is used for softening of hard water. First is used for softening of hard water, or I can say that it is used to remove the permanent hardness of water. Remove the permanent hardness of water. That meaning remove the permanent hardness of water. Hardness of water. Second point is there, this is used for washing purpose in laundry. That meaning used for washing purpose. That meaning with the help of this we can wash the clothes. Next is there, used in textile industry. Used in textile industry. Used in textile industry. Fourth point is there, it is used for manufacture of sodium compound like borax. It is used for manufacture of sodium compound like borax. This is sodium compound. And next we can use as a reagent in the laboratory. We can used as a reagent in the laboratory. So simply that are the uses of washing soda. That use is very important. Lots of time they are asking in 1 marks ki name the compound which is used for softening hard water or used for remove the permanent hardness of water. So that is a washing soda, or you can say that sodium carbonate also you can use it there. So that is very important uses of the washing soda. Third salt is there, baking soda. The formula of baking soda is NaHCO3 and its chemical name is there sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. The point is there ki how to prepare baking soda. That meaning if I want to say the preparation of baking soda. So that is already we have discussed in the washing soda. Step first, the ammonical brine solution. Ammonical brine solution react with carbon dioxide. Then it will be giving us sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. That is they are giving us. Now if I will discuss in the form of a reaction, so ammonical meaning this is NH3. Brine Brine solution meaning a mixture of NaCl and water. Carbon dioxide is CO2, that meaning ammonical brine solution react with carbon dioxide, then they will be giving us sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3 and ammonium chloride. So we are getting the baking soda. So with the help of filtration we can separate out and we have to try it. This is the simple preparation of sodium bicarbonate. Now I will be discuss the properties of baking soda. Properties of baking soda. What are the properties of baking soda? If I will discuss, the first property of baking soda is there. It is white crystalline solid. First is there. It is white crystalline solid. It is a white crystalline solid. That means it will be in the form of white crystal. Very small crystals are there. The second point is there. A second property. It is soluble in water, and its aqueous solution is alkaline in nature. It is soluble in water. It is soluble in water, and its aqueous solution. I am talking about the aqueous solution is alkaline in nature. Alkaline in nature. Alkaline in nature meaning the pH value is more than 7. That is why it is alkaline in nature. After that I will be discuss its action of heat. What will be effect of heat on the baking soda? The action of heat about that baking soda. This is action of heat. Action of heat. That meaning if I will be heat the baking soda, then it will be giving us sodium carbonate and release carbon dioxide gas. So baking soda is NaHCO3. It's two molecule. I will be take it, and during heating it will be giving us sodium carbonate, water molecule, and release carbon dioxide gas. This is sodium carbonate, water molecule, and release carbon dioxide gas. This is the action of heat. That is very important. After this I am discussing with you the uses of baking soda. Uses of baking soda. That are very important uses of baking soda. I will be telling you that are the important one. If I will discuss the first use, so this is in making baking powder. It is used in making baking powder. Baking powder. How to make baking powder? That meaning I will be say simply baking soda is used to making baking powder. So very simple is there. If I will be added it there tartaric acid. So that meaning baking soda plus tartaric acid. Baking soda plus tartaric acid, then I will be get baking powder. Baking powder, or I can say that whatever hydrogen ion is there from the acid, that will be make the baking use in the form of baking powder. And when baking powder is heated, I'm talking about the baking powder is heated, then sodium carbonate decomposed to give carbon dioxide and sodium carbonate. So after heating the baking powder, the carbon dioxide gas is released. Due to the release of this carbon dioxide gas, the bread and the cake, they are fluffy. Because suppose this is the cake or bread, and as the carbon dioxide gas is released out, so they will be come in this way. Due to the evolution of this carbon dioxide gas, this cake is also going to fluffy and soft. So that meaning in the bakery, the use of baking powder to make cake and bread, make it soft. How it is going to soft? Because during the heating, baking powder will release the carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide gas comes out in the form of bubble to rise up. Due to that, the cake and breads, they are going to spongy and fluffy. After that, simply suppose I will be, that meaning if tartaric acid is not added in baking soda. Suppose I forget to add the tartaric acid, then the cake, whatever we have to make it, this will be bitter in taste. If I will be not add the tartaric acid, then the taste of cake is bitter. Because sodium bicarbonate, that meaning the baking soda, this is a basic in nature. Due to its basic nature, that is bitter in taste. So that means suppose anyone is forget to add tartaric acid in the preparation of cake, then the taste of cake will be bitter, because the tartaric acid is going to neutralize the basic nature of sodium bicarbonate, and it bitter taste is removed. So that is why if anyone is forget to add tartaric acid in the preparation of cake, then the taste of cake is bitter. That is very important question. Now after that, the next use is baking soda is used in medicine. That means the other use of baking soda, that means the second use, this is baking soda is used in medicine. Simple if I will be discuss, baking soda, this is NaHCO3, which is basic in nature. So due to its basic in nature, we will use the baking soda in acidity problem. Suppose any person is having the acidity problem, so we know that why the acidity problem is there, due to the secretion of excess acid. If I will be use the baking soda, that meaning as ENO I am using, plus ENO. In ENO, baking soda is present, which is basic in nature. So this ENO will be neutralized. It will be neutralize the excess acid which is released in our stomach. Due to basic in nature, ENO neutralize the excess acid which is released in our stomach, and we will feel better. So that meaning the baking soda is used in medicine, like in ENO we can use the baking soda. Same it is also used in soda water, that meaning in the manufacture of aerated water, that meaning the soda water. It is also used in the preparation of soda water. Mostly you have seen the soda water, that meaning the aerated water it can be also used. After this I will be discuss the next use, that is it is used in fire extinguisher. It is used in fire extinguisher. That meaning sodium bicarbonate is used as fire extinguisher. How it will be used in a fire extinguisher? It's very simple. In a fire extinguisher, like this. Suppose this is a fire extinguisher. Suppose this is, and this one glass tube is present in this way. Suppose this is a glass tube, and it's connected with a handle. It's connected with a handle like this, and here acid is present, and this H2SO4 is present, that is a acid. Now after this as here in the empty space NaHCO3, this is sodium bicarbonate, is present. As I will be break the seal, that means as I will break the seal, then this glass bottle is going to break, and the acid is comes in contact of NaHCO3. That meaning this NaHCO3 comes in the form of with the sulfuric acid, comes in the contact of sulfuric acid, and it react to give us Na2SO4 plus H2O and CO2. This CO2 gas is evolved. Due to the evolution of this CO2 gas, it is used as a fire extinguisher. It is used as a fire extinguisher. So that is the use of baking soda. So 4 uses I have discussed with you of baking soda, which are very important. After the 4 uses of baking soda, I will be go with you the next topic. That next topic is washing soda I have discussed you, baking soda I have discussed with you, sodium hydroxide I have discussed with you. The next topic is there. This is the bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. That meaning the 4th salt is there. This is bleaching powder. 4th salt, bleaching powder. The formula of bleaching powder is CaOCl2, and its chemical name is there. Ca meaning calcium, O meaning oxy, Cl meaning chloride. So that is calcium oxychloride, that is a chemical name. Now this is also known as chloride of lime. This is CaO is a lime, this is a chloride, that is its name is chloride of lime. We can say this also, chloride of lime. Now I will be discuss with you the preparation of bleaching powder. Preparation of bleaching powder, that means how to make bleaching powder. That is very simple preparation is there. It is prepared by passing chlorine gas over dry slaked lime. Suppose I am having dry slaked lime and I am going to pass chlorine gas. Chlorine gas, then this will be give us bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Now the dry slaked lime. The dry slaked lime meaning this is CaOH whole twice and chlorine gas is Cl2. So as it is going to react with Cl2, it will be giving us bleaching powder CaOCl2 and water molecule. This is a slake line. This is a chlorine gas, and this is the bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. That is the preparation of bleaching powder by passing chlorine gas on dry slake line. We are getting bleaching powder. After this, I will be discuss you the properties of bleaching powder. Okay, what are the properties of bleaching powder? Properties of bleaching powder. That is properties of bleaching powder. First, what is the properties of bleaching powder? It is a yellowish white powder. Yellowish white powder. That meaning it is yellowish white powder. Little bit yellow color is there. That is why I am using yellowish white powder. Second is there, it gives strong smell of chlorine. It gives strong smell of chlorine. It gives strong smell of chlorine. Next is reaction with carbon dioxide. Next is third is reaction with carbon dioxide. Reaction with CO2. That meaning when bleaching powder CaOCl2 react with carbon dioxide, then it will be giving us a milky color of calcium carbonate and release chlorine gas. So when bleaching powder react with carbon dioxide gas, it will be give us a milky color of calcium carbonate and release chlorine gas. Now after that the reaction with dilute acid. Fourth is reaction with dilute acid. Suppose I am having here, this is the bleaching powder, it reacted with HCl. This is a dilute HCl. Then it give us calcium chloride. This Ca reacted with this Cl to give us CaCl2. H2H is available here, react with one oxygen, give us H2O, and this Cl2 gas is released from there. That meaning it if it react with dilute HCl, it will be giving us calcium chloride, water, and release chlorine gas. You have seen in these two equations कि it will be giving us a chlorine gas. That is why we can say that it gives a strong smell of chlorine due to the release of chlorine gas. After this, I will be discuss the uses of bleaching powder. What are the uses of bleaching powder? Uses of bleaching powder. Uses of bleaching powder. Uses of bleaching powder. Now, in the uses of bleaching powder, the first use is there. It will be especially the bleaching powder. The name you have listened about the bleach. So that is why it is used for bleaching cotton. It is used for bleaching cotton. It is used for bleaching cotton. Second is there, this is it is used for disinfecting of drinking water. This is very important point. It is used for disinfecting drinking water. That meaning if I will be add the bleaching powder in the water, then it will be release a chlorine gas. This chlorine gas is going to kill the bacteria which are present in the water, and all the bacteria is going to settle down. That is why we are saying it is used to disinfecting drinking water. After that we can say that it is used in the manufacture of chloroform. That meaning if I want to make the chloroform, so it can be used in the manufacture of chloroform. That means if I want to make it the chloroform, then I can use the bleaching powder. The bleaching action of that bleaching powder is due to the chlorine gas. I'm telling you, whatever the bleaching action is there, it is the release of due to Cl2 gas. Due to this Cl2 gas, it will be show its bleaching action. So that is the bleaching powder preparation, their properties and their uses. Now I will be discuss with you the fifth salt. This is plaster of Paris. Which I am going to discuss with you now. Plaster of Paris. The short form is POP. Formula is there CaSO4 dot half H2O. The chemical name is there CaSO4, meaning this is calcium sulfate. Half meaning this is Hemi. H2O meaning hydrate. So its chemical name is there calcium sulfate Hemi hydrate. Now I will talk about its preparation. How to make the POP. So it's very simple. It is prepared by heating gypsum. At 100 degrees Celsius, I will say, or I can say that 373 Kelvin. By heating gypsum at 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin, I will get the POP. Now the gypsum is there CaSO4.2H2O. If I will be heat it at 100 degrees Celsius, then 1.5 molecule of water is eliminated from here, and it will be giving us CaSO4.2H2O plus 1.5 H2O. This is, if you can see, this is the gypsum, this is the POP. That meaning if I will be heat the gypsum at 100 degrees Celsius, then I will get the POP. But if the temperature is more than 100 degrees Celsius, then all the water molecules is eliminated from here, so we are not able to get the POP on that time. So it's very important, the temperature should be 100 degrees Celsius. It should not more than 100 degrees Celsius. If it will be more than 100 degrees Celsius, then all the water molecule will be eliminated from here. So that means if I will be say this is more than 100 degrees Celsius, then I am getting here CaSO4. That means all the water molecule is eliminated plus 2H2O. So this is calcium sulfate and this is a water molecule. So this calcium sulfate we are getting, this is dead burnt plaster. Which is not of any use. That is why in the preparation the main point is there, the temperature should not more than 100 degrees Celsius. This is the preparation. Now after this I will be discuss the properties of POP. What are the properties of POP? Properties of POP. Properties of POP. The first property is there. Everyone knows about the POP. It is a white powder. It is white powder. second property is there, it absorbs water with evolution of heat. Simply I can say that it absorbs water. Third property is there, when it mixes with water, then it forms a paste which sets into a hard mass. This is called setting of plaster of Paris. That meaning, if I will be added the water, addition of water, like suppose I am having a POP. This is the POP, CaSO4 dot half H2O, and I am going to add half molecule of water. Then it will be giving us a hard mass, CaSO4 dot 2H2O. That meaning setting of plaster of Paris. That meaning this is the gypsum. I will get back again. Gypsum, which is not of any use, and this process is called setting of plaster of Paris. This whole process is called setting of plaster of Paris. So that is why we will keep the POP in moisture proof container, because if the moisture will be available here, then the plaster of Paris react with the moisture and give back us gypsum, which is not of any use. After this I will be discuss with you some uses of POP. What are the uses of POP? So if I will discuss with you the uses of POP, so this is uses of POP. The first use, if I will discuss with you, so this is POP is used for making toys, poetry, cosmetic, etc. That means it is used for making toys. Mostly you have seen lots of toys of POPs are available. So with the help of POP we can make toys, statues and decorative materials. Toys we can make, statues we can make, decorative material we can make, decorative materials we can make. Second, we can use it in a white washing to, simply I can say that the POP I can use to make the walls smooth. So making the wall smooth, making walls smooth. Mostly you have seen at our home or in our shops we are using the POP. POP is going to make the walls smooth. Simply we can use the POP in more places like in hospital. If I discuss, then this is a very important point. In hospital we can use the POP. Everyone knows the hospital why we will use it. It will be used to join the broken bones. In hospitals used in join the broken bones. Mostly you know, people know whenever the bone is going to break, then the plaster is going to apply. So that plaster is of POP. It is made up of POP. That means it will use to join the broken bones. The POP also we can use in the laboratory. We can use in the laboratory for sealing the air gaps in apparatus. That means we can use in laboratory. Laboratories in sealing the air gaps. That meaning some lots of chemicals are there. If they will come in the contact of moisture, so they are going to damage. So to protect them on the reagent bottle, we will use the POP, because whatever moisture will become, that POP is going to absorb and it will protect the chemicals of that container. So that are the uses of POP. Now I hope you have understand about all the salt whatever I have discussed with you, and these are very important. In my next video I will be come with you some important questions related to this second chapter. Thank you.